I'm back! Hey guys, it's me, T, and I am here to tell you what I thought about the reunion on RuPaul. Ow! So, I took some notes, and I actually liked the reunion. First, I talked about the outfits. Adore, I thought it was a really cute cream color dress. I thought she looked good. Alyssa, I love the whole lion big hair shit. It was a mess. I loved it. Coco's dress was orange, but her face wasn't. I'm proud of you, girl. I'm really fucking proud of you. Go, bitch. Detox, I loved that it was plain, but it was still very cute. You know, Detox's outfits are always a fave in my book. Ginger looks really good in red. Her makeup was nice. Her wig was nice. I really liked it. And I like because she had a little white boa to go with it. Katya's face, weird, but funny. And I thought the dress was cute because it looked like a whole bunch of jewels on her body. Roxy, I fucking hated that outfit. She's better than that. She is way better than what she wore at that reunion. The gloves were fucking flossy as fuck. Like, I loved it. But that dress was hideous. The dress, when she sat down, made her look bigger than she is. She should have wore something like very slim fit with your cute ass. I feel like she could have did better than what she put on. You know. And Tati, oh my god, that fucking purple. Bitch, she looked amazing. And that braid was everything. And Alaska's dress was cute, even though there were bugs on it. But those fucking gloves with the roach nails, fucking hilarious. I like the hair and I like the crown sitting around her beehive. But I did like the dress. I thought it was very regal. So, in the beginning, what I loved about it was Ru was being so shady to Fifi, but very subtle and very professional. Like, how I love when he goes talking about the paddles that they're gonna hold up if they feel like somebody is bullshitting. He goes like, if someone says, I blame the editing, and holds up the paddle, because we all know, if you've seen Fifi rant on Twitter, she always thinks somebody out to get her. She always gotta play the victim. She never wants to own up to the fact that she was being an asshole. But okay. When they mentioned how Adore felt for leaving, and she said that she felt embarrassed for leaving. And I don't think she should have felt embarrassed. I think that when you get into a positive headspace where you're away from competition and things like that, you're not really ready to go back in there. And like she mentioned, her and Marcel, besides, they just travel together. They're really close friends. And it goes from, oh girl, I'm going to talk to you later. I'm going to my dressing room, to bitch, you got a hog body. I don't think that's like a weird transition. So, but Ru opened with talking about how did they feel about eliminating each other. A lot of them thought, you know, that was hard, but since it was All Stars, of course it was going to be something crazy and different. Adore mentioned how eliminating each other, by what the judges said, was basically setting yourself up for a chick fight. And I completely agree with that. And I love because Alyssa chimed in and said, bitch, I didn't agree to none of that. This was hogwash. She was real animated and really funny. They talked to Coco on how Coco felt coming back to All Stars and how Coco feels just in general about the elimination, everything. Coco mentions how before starting filming for All Stars, he was in the hospital because his lungs were failing and he almost died. And the reason he never mentioned it was because he didn't want sympathy. And he just wanted to show up and show out and do really well. Ru asked, do you think you should have been the first one eliminated? And Coco replied, no, because if we all remember, there was somebody there who sang a song and didn't sing well, should have went home. And then Ru asked Coco about the fact that he tweeted out that there are some people who will sell their family and friends for a little fortune. And does Coco feel that way still about Roxy? And Coco said, to an extent. So they asked Roxy how she felt about it. And she was like, you know, we all say things on social media that we shouldn't say. I've done it. We've all done it. But I'm not mad that Coco feels that way. I don't hold a grudge. I love Coco. You know, she'll be my sister for life. And I love because Coco said, I don't hold any ill will towards her either. But they still love each other, which I like, because that was very adult. I love the way they both handled that. It was like, I said some things, I feel some things and said some things, but we still love each other at the end of the day. Tatiana. Oh, and also when Adore talked about being embarrassed for leaving because she didn't want to disappoint anyone and she just wasn't ready for critique. I wouldn't have been disappointed because she also mentioned how even her outfits that were tailor-made to her wouldn't have looked as good as what Detox and the rest of them were pulling out. I think the reason people like Adore so much is because her outfits and her drag is just fun. It's like she would say, party. You know, it's a good time and you feel like Adore is like you, just a regular person. So I wouldn't have been disappointed because I think she would have turned out some challenges really well. Tatiana feels that Alaska was wrong the second time sending her home, but not the first time. The first time Tatiana said, it makes sense that Alaska sent me home. I didn't do really well. I was lackluster on the runway, so I got that. But the second time, I wasn't the person who got the worst critiques, so I don't think I should have went home. And Alaska said, you know, she wasn't ready for how many people were going to be that mad about it, about sending Tatiana home. And then she made a joke saying how you can think I'm fake, but the only thing fake about me is this, and pulls up a fake leg and throws it. Now, if you don't know what that's a reference to, on The Real Housewives of New York, there was a woman there, I forgot her name, had a fake leg. And in the finale, it was like last season or a couple seasons ago, she goes, you know what? The only thing fake about me is this, and throws her leg. And then all the other white women were like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what I would do if I saw a bitch throw her leg at me. Like, what am I gonna do? Ginger mentioned how she didn't feel like herself and said that she feels like Alyssa plays a dirty game, but Alyssa doesn't feel like she plays a dirty game. I don't think Alyssa plays a dirty game either. Alaska says she doesn't regret sending Alyssa home and talked about how she was constantly fucking up in the filming. When they did that challenge together where they had to do sequels to movies, Alaska mentioned how it literally took forever and Alyssa was fucking up on lines a lot and it was not fun. And then she mentioned how the 2-in-1, it wasn't really a 2-in-1. I'm holding up the cameras and then I'm dropping the camera dress. Like, that wasn't a 2-in-1. And I loved in that moment that Katya chimed in and said, but you didn't have a 2-in-1 either. You literally came out in trash bags and black cloth and then ripped it away and then you had your outfit underneath. She said the second part was amazing, but the first part was bullshit. Pure bullshit. Alaska didn't agree, but I agreed with Katya and I love that she opened her mouth. Ginger also mentioned how when Ru brought up the whole reveal that 4 queens were coming back through the mirror, how Alyssa was fuming behind there, was digging her nails into Ginger's arm, and they were like, calm down, girl. And Alyssa mentioned how it was just so aggressive and just dark-sided, and Detox was, it was a little crazy. You know, I love because they all collectively agreed that it was really fucking extra. Like, for no reason. And then they asked people whose looks did they love and whose looks did they hate, like a toot and boot. And if you follow New Now Next's YouTube page, you'll see Raven and Raja doing the toot and the boot. Whose outfits did we love and whose outfits did we hate? So, Detox. And, well, first, it was Coco and Katya loved Roxy's looks. Said everything was so polished and it was so well put together and it was beautiful. Katya especially loved Roxy's finale look. Detox and Tati loved Fifi's futuristic look with the all blue and the gun. I did think that was very slang. I loved everything about it. Detox hated Ginger's future look. We all hated Ginger's future look, y'all. It was a hot ass mess. Adore loved the top 4 looks and said everybody looked very polished and very well, and booted her own look. And she went, that look was fucking ugly. Alaska talked about how she loved Detox's red looks and hated Alyssa's camera dress. Again, that was fucking ugly. I love because this reunion seemed very playful. They all seemed to get along. Even when they touched on more serious issues, everybody genuinely showed each other love. And I like because there was no negativity about it. So then Ru asked Alyssa about the whole no hug thing. And Alyssa just was like, I didn't understand it because it was like, I eliminated her because of her poor attitude and her poor behavior, because it's just a competition, girl. It's just a game and you don't have to act like that. And we could have just hugged it out, calm down, like chill out. And when they asked what the other girls thought, Roxy said how she thought, no, don't do this. Like, you should have took advantage of that moment and just hugged her and got over it. Tati says that her whole I didn't want to cry thing was bullshit. But because she hugged every girl except for Alyssa and never cried. So she thinks that she just didn't want to hug Alyssa. And then Katya chimed in and said how she feels that, well, just don't be fake. You know, don't change how you are or how you feel just for a hug. If she wasn't feeling a hug and didn't want it, she shouldn't have to hug her. And Coco said, but even after all that shit you do in the workroom, it was unnecessary. And I agree. I feel like it was unnecessary. Like, I hate a lot of bitches, but if I was in a competition and it was time for me to hug you, I would have hugged you. So then they asked the women, well, the drag queens, about fans and the weirdest fan reactions. Tatiana said how she got her foot licked once by a fan, and that's, I don't know what I would do if I was at like a YouTube convention and I was a bigger YouTuber and somebody licked my foot. I've had my foot licked before, but it was by a little boy and I wasn't ready for it, and he just liked to lick feet. Okay, enough about me. I don't know why that little boy licked my foot. But anyway, Adore admitted that she has fucked many of her fans. Detox also admitted it and talked about a time when they were staying in the same hotel because they did some shows together. Detox had two men in his room and said, you know what? You know, you can go right down the hall to Adore's room. I think, you know, she'll love this. And Adore fucked him. And I loved it. They were honest. I don't think I could fuck a fan. Because then I would just like, especially if they follow me on all my social medias, I would think, oh my God, you've been inside me. Ah! But I like because, you know, they were very honest about the fact that they fucked a fan. Alaska on her tantrum said that she broke down, and yeah, it was a bit much, but it was because on the first season when she was on, she was so insecure and she wasn't as polished as she is, and doing this season she had worked so hard to not make herself look stupid, not to come off like she didn't know what she was doing, and then it all came to a head. And Katya made a joke about how she thought Alaska's tantrum was strategic, but I love when Alyssa said you were working so hard and you were slaying it all the time, that it was authentic. That was how you felt, and those were your feelings. And, you know, that's what you go through. You go through those phases in life. And Detox said how it was disappointing because she feels like Alaska's better than that. And I even said that I feel like Alaska is way better than that tantrum that she threw. So they asked Detox about sending Alyssa home towards the end. And even Detox herself says she knew she was wrong for sending Alyssa home, and constantly thought about it, how this is, I shouldn't be doing this, like this is wrong. And also earlier in the reunion they brought up a lot of the fact that the judges say, oh, it's funny because Alyssa did it, and how they don't agree with that because you can't just let somebody skate because you think they're funny. And I like because Alyssa said, well, no, everybody has different drag, and you can't say that people like me just for this particular thing. Like, I work really hard in what I do. And I agreed with that statement. And I like because Detox owned up to the fact that she knew it was the wrong choice sending Alyssa home. Now, what I was surprised about was when Roxy said how she knew she didn't think she didn't deserve to be in the top 4. And I think that shows, personally to me, a lot of growth and a lot of strength as a person, because I think Roxy did what Roxy set out to do, to paint us a completely different picture of the drag queen she was to the drag queen she is today. And I feel like Roxy took advantage of the whole redemption thing. And I love because Ru mentioned that redemption isn't given, you have to earn it. And I feel like Roxy truly earned that redemption. And the fact that she was so forthcoming and so honest with the fact that she had been in the bottom so many times, she knows she did not deserve that top 4 spot. And I like her even more for that blunt honesty. And then afterwards, they talked about Katya, and they talked to Detox, and asked them how they thought of the season, what fun did they have. Ru complimented Katya for being confident and coming into her own, and asked Detox how it felt being on this season. And Detox mentioned how she felt way more polished and way better put together, because the first time her father had just entered the hospital because he was sick, but he urged Detox to get on the show, and mentally she just did not feel like she was present in there. So this time around, she really wanted to show up and show out. The one thing I loved about this reunion was it wasn't messy. Like, it wasn't drama filled. It was very honest. A lot of the queens were very blunt in their honesty and owned up to a lot of the things they either said or did or felt. I'm proud of Alaska for winning, even though, you know, I still kind of feel like we already knew it was going to happen. But Alaska did work hard. Alaska busted that ass to win, and I'm happy with the outcome. I love reunions like this. I love shows like this, and I can't wait to see who our new drag queen is going to be on. Who they're going to be. Like, are we going to pick people that we already seen on Instagram, or is Ru going to pick people that we've never seen before? I'm really excited for that. And I genuinely liked this reunion. It was funny. It was emotional. People were honest. I really appreciated it. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. I'm going to upload this tonight. And tomorrow you will be getting my Rocky Horror Picture Show remake review, and I will also be telling you a stoner story time, because it will be Sunday and it'll be a Halloween themed story time. Because, you know, if there's one thing you should never do to a fat black girl from the hoods of Cleveland is pop up, especially when you all bloodied. And no, I don't do that Fright Night scare shit. I'ma just say that. That's what the story gonna be about. If no one tells you that you're awesome and that they love you, I think you're awesome and I love you. Tell me what you thought about the reunion. Did they not cover things that you wanted to hear about? Or do you feel like they did everything they were supposed to? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.